Who knew mounting a piece of glass and shining a light on it would make a pistol one of the fastest and accurate divisions in IDPA? Up next, a carry dot. Welcome to Season 3 of Can We Chat? This podcast is brought to you by our friends in Huntington Beach, O'Connell's, family, friends, neighbors. How was your day? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you simplify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and keep you updated on the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, hit that free subscribe button. Please welcome to the podcast master shooter, fellow teammate, and dear friend, John Priano.
What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for driving all the way out here from out deep south.
It wasn't too bad. Okay. Well, not too bad. I didn't have to, make a change on my watch or anything like that.
Everybody's coming. It seems that the traffic is getting a little stranger these days,
worse.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it's
really?
Yeah.
It's not getting better.
No, God, no. No, it's bad every time. Every time I step out of the house, somebody's running me over. It's tough. It's tough out here.
I think that's a you thing.
Most likely, okay. Yes. Most likely.
Well, congratulations. We just had a local match at Cal-IDPA.
Yep.
And you tore that up.
Oh, I don't know about that. I did okay. Well, I did all right.
You are now climbing the rankings. You placed to fourth overall. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For that, right?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Or I'm sorry, seventh overall, fourth carry Optic division.
Yeah. Thank you.
You placed third master.
Yeah, I think so.
And there's a bunch of those guys.
There's a few of them. We got a lot of good shooters in our club. I'm biased because we shoot there all the time, but I would say we got as good as shooters, as anywhere else, right? I mean, you look up and down the list, and there's
Jeff
a lot of good guys.
And Jason and D Bell, right?
So so many good ones. Yourself, you won the thing. You finished first. Don't leave yourself out of it.
I kind of stepped out of that class because there's so many of those guys, right? That's just a mob.
Yeah, no,
right?
but that's good though. I mean, you like any sport, you want to be around people that are like a little bit better than you, and they push you, right? Just like we shot with Aaron Lewis, and I was lucky because alphabetically he came just before me, so I got to watch him shoot every stage.
Yeah.
And that's an advantage, right? Like you see somebody who's really good like that, and you watch him how he does it, and it gives you a good visual in your head, and you go. It's like playing golf with somebody who's a little bit better than you. You watch them swing, you get the tempo, all that kind of stuff.
That didn't work for me.
Yeah,
I played with Freddie.
Yeah,
couples, right?
Okay,
and I was a wreck the whole day.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough one to. I said a little bit better than you, not like a lot.
I remember one time we played at Shady Canyon, right? And Tiger was doing his filming. Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So he had to stop and wait. He goes, "Oh no, just go ahead and tee off."
Yeah.
I went, "Oh no, just drive by." And I was like, "Please, just don't rip it into the tee box in front of us."
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And, oh my gosh, that was the worst.
Yeah, years ago, my dad. He got a chance to play around with Lee Trevino, and he was hitting a shot, and he's looking down, and I guess Lee was kind of standing close, and he goes, all I could see was his spikes, and I go, that's Lee Trevino's feet right over there, like in the middle of his backswing. It's not ideal, right? Like,
and Lee,
head like that.
He's not quiet.
No, he'd chirp the whole time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you placed 24th accurate. What happened there?
What happened? That's actually better. Are you kidding? That's better than I've been doing. I've been spraying and praying for months. I'm trying to do, I'm trying to push myself speed wise.
Okay.
And what comes with that is you're gonna be a little
the accuracy, speed,
yeah.
balance.
There's a balance in there.
Yeah, and you're totally tilted on one side.
Well, I'm trying. I'm trying to move faster, and I figure I can adjust. To moving fast, I figure I can adjust the accuracy better than the other way around. Right. I think.
So you saying you're shopping when you throw that red dot across that target?
Oh yeah,
because it's just a confirmation, right?
It is. Yeah. No, one of the things I've struggled with, and So Jason Sandu. He's a good buddy of mine. We talk
Love
a
him.
lot.
Yeah.
He's the best. We talk a lot, and he calls me. He affectionately calls me a gun whore because I.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm just. But that's a different podcast.
Because I've shot everything, right? Like I want to shoot a different gun
But you
every
have.
week.
I mean,
and
that's so true, though.
I know, but the way to be consistent and good is to like commit to one and really master it, right? And then
Who told you that?
I told me that. Well, and Jason told me that too.
Okay.
But it just makes sense, right? Like you get to something that you are very comfortable with, and you know where it's going to present all the time. One of the biggest issues I have with shooting is in competition is getting to a point of cover and then indexing on my first target. Getting to that first index is kind of hit and miss sometimes, no pun intended.
Right.
But then once I'm there on the array, like I'm pretty good at the rest of the array.
Yeah.
But it's getting into the position and finding, presenting where I think I'm presenting. Right. And if you're shooting the same gun all the time, I think you have a better chance of doing that. Right. You have a better chance of getting up in the right spot, presenting it in front of you, and the dot being where you think it's going to be when you pull the gun up.
Right.
So I had messed around for months, and then I finally kind of went back to like the gun I made master in originally, which is nothing special, but it's the one that I'm the most familiar with. So
A Glock.
Yeah. Yes, the Toyota Camry of guns. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Glocks.
No, I love Camrys. I've
Put
owned
gas
two of
in
them.
it and it goes.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, it goes.
That's probably why you're 24th accurate.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
No,
probably.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. So okay. So when you come into a shooting position, are you coming in like you want to get the gun at the target, or you want to get your body at the target?
Yeah, that's a good point. What I try to do, and I don't think I do it very well, but what I try to do is get my feet to where I want them to be first.
Right.
A lot of times, though, I'm kind of going a little bit faster than I'm capable of.
Right.
But yeah, I'd like to get my feet set and then, hopefully be up on target like that. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you just kind of, you and I were talking about shuffling into a position, right?
Right.
Like chopping up your steps.
So JJ Ricasa, right?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Okay. Coach of mine.
Yeah.
So he was big on not side shuffling, but more like stepping. So he would actually take his inside foot, change his hips toward the target.
Oh, I see.
And then take a step.
Yeah.
Right, which will scrub the speed off. But he's already, he's like square to the target.
Yeah.
As he's coming into the position. And I sat there and went, now how the hell are you going to do that with like IDPA? Because IDPA is some of them is like really close, right?
Yeah.
And so, but he
has
this.
And the points of cover, right? Like it's very specific. It's not like a USPSA where a lot of things are out in the open, right?
Right. But if you watch a lot of the really elite USPSA shooters, they're almost like running around like bow-legged. Right? They're wide angle, wide legs. They're real low. And they're set up for that stuff like that, right? So and that's definitely a lesson that you should probably learn.
Oh
right?
yeah. It's I think what the great thing about sports, like they translate to each other, right?
Yes.
Different sports translate to each other. I grew up playing baseball, and I was an infielder, and people look at infielders and they go, "Oh, their hands are so good," but it's really the feet.
It is
that make the difference, right? Getting your body into position, and getting your momentum going the right way, and it's very similar, right? We're talking about that in shooting, and
if you're in a certain position, and for me, it's center line.
Yeah.
And so if my body's not facing in that direction.
Yeah.
My gun's not going to be
Right.
facing that
Right.
direction, right? And
Yeah.
then I'll be off to one side or other, and
Yeah.
that's when you go down that rabbit hole.
Right. So
that
well, and the
totally makes
leans
sense.
kind of work against
yeah,
you, right?
absolutely,
When
absolutely.
we're having to get around points of cover, and so yeah, it's a challenge, man. There are so many things to practice. There's so many things to work on. And
Right.
It's just, I feel like if you take a real big, wide approach, you don't get good at anything. And it's better to just kind of pick a few things and like really hammer those types of things, like in your dry fire and in your practice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So-
it's funny that you speak of this. Viking and I, although it's a serious concept, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, one gun versus multiple guns,
Yeah.
right? We started going down in order to get certain content for our subscribers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We had to go to different guns.
Oh
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
show, because
You guys had that one match. You shot a different gun in every stage. You psychopaths.
I would have to say, I mean, it's it goes along with, there are stages out there that they have pickup guns.
Yeah. Oh, we had one.
We did.
Yes.
We didn't have the opportunity to shoot.
No,
the thing,
unfortunately.
Right? So,
Yeah.
but for me, I sat there and went, five round backup revolver.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before, I would sit there like, five round revolver. Oh my God.
It's so funny. So as you know, like I started with revolvers and I shot them for a really long
Yes.
time, and it's so funny to hear people say, because they're just not very common in competition, and it's so funny when we had a pickup revolver, what was it, a year or two ago, when we had like a tier 2 match, and then we did it in this match, and people talking about it like it's a bow and arrow, like it's something it's something totally different, right? I'm like, listen, grab it and point it and pull the trigger. It's not that big of a deal, right? But
well, for that gun, the way it was set up, that's what it was used for.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It wasn't something that you pointed.
No,
right?
no.
You just sat there and just and go, right?
Yeah. And those little things, I mean, they bark at you when you shoot them.
Well, so revolvers has a certain specific timing,
for sure.
and you have to go through the first full cycle physically.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Not like a straight level or
Right.
PCC. You just,
Right. Yeah,
right, and it'll go right.
right.
But this
they're
one,
big, heavy.
right? You have to hold the gun, aim at it, make sure it's there, and then press the trigger and go through the whole thing, right? But
Yeah.
thank goodness the timing was off on that one.
I know. It's a shame too, because I was actually looking forward to that. I love that.
We should do that again.
We should do that again.
Yeah.
The thing that I think there's a little bit of a misconception, there's this kind of prevailing thought out there that revolvers are like infallible, like they're totally reliable, like all the time. And I always say yes and no at the same time.
Once you're there,
They
are.
If they're clean and they've and you can get through 2 or 3 cylinders, right?
right?
That will totally be reliable. You could load a revolver, stick it in your drawer, pull it out 10 years later, and it'll fire.
Yeah.
Right. But after, if you abuse it the way we do our semi-autos and you just run them, they foul up, they bind up, like, you get stuff under the extractor star. Like there's a lot that can go wrong with them. So yes, they're reliable, like initially, but by the time we got to that stage, I mean, we were the second to last squad to shoot that. So I don't know, however many times that thing had been shot, and I'm sure nobody was in there brushing out the cylinders or anything like that.
And and when they say, okay, so just pick it up and just go, click, 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 right?
Yeah,
and I go, oh, please, do you really want to do that?
Yeah.
But it was broken already, right? So
I think it was, unfortunately, but it's a fun idea. I like that kind of thing. I wish we would do that kind of thing. But like I said, you better have somebody maintaining that like every couple of squads.
So when you were shooting revolvers, I mean, what paraphernalia did you take along with you?
Oh my
cleaning?
God, I had like a toolbox with everything in it. I had brushes. I had everything. Like, I mean, it's like a watch. I mean, you open up a revolver. There's all these. There's all these workings and parts, and they're awesome to shoot. They're so much fun. I wish more people would do it, because it's a really fun platform, especially if you're brand new to guns. Yeah. It's a great way to like just learn everything you need to learn about guns.
Yeah.
Right. All the same principles apply.
Yeah.
All the safety precautions, all the, you can learn trigger pull really well by learning a revolver, right?
You can see the revolver shooters, right?
Yeah.
Because when they're shooting and they have a foul, right, their gun will just stay there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It won't go.
Right. You don't get that thing. Yeah. Which I do all the time. But yeah, but when I'd shoot it, every stage, if we had time,
Yeah.
I would get in there with a bore brush and, clean out the cylinders, make sure there was nothing under the star, because that happens a lot too.
Yep.
And it makes it so you can't eject rounds. And
I brought a drill with me.
yeah, I would bring a drill, yes, and I would just go like this. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then take a blower.
Yep, absolutely.
But that was after every stage.
Yeah.
So when they say go ahead and get more BBs, right?
Yeah,
Well, I only have 5, so I'm good there.
All right there.
But 20 minutes later, I'm still
You're over at the safety table by yourself.
cleaning the damn thing.
Cleaning the thing until it's your turn. Oh shit, I gotta go.
People come up. Oh, by the way, may I leave my gun with you? And
Yeah.
Get the hell.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What do you charge per hour?
Anyway.
Yeah, this is a lot different. I can kind of do whatever I want with that thing. I can kick it around. I don't think I've cleaned it in months.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in just a sec. But you stage 4, Great Escape.
Yeah.
You actually placed second overall.
Yeah, that
as
was a good
fast
stage
as
for me.
14.99 seconds with one down.
That was a good
What
one.
happened with the one down? Was that your first target or?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
What's
probably
going on?
was. Yeah, I probably cooked it off too early or something. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you.
14.99 seconds.
Yeah, I was. That match was just the whole match. I felt really good. You always worry about maybe malfunction here or there, kind of throwing you off. But in the last few matches, I'd incurred a bunch of PEs and all that. So I was kind of just trying to focus on, not just focus on the task at hand, not trying to do too much, still trying to move fast.
Okay.
And I think that helped.
So you're talking about like learning your carry optics and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I just mean I'd been going back and forth a little bit with USPSA, and then so
Has that been helping, by the way?
I think that's a good question.
Well, so you have the accuracy speed thing,
Yeah.
right, which USPSA is phenomenal.
but
if
it's
you want
much
to
more
learn.
weighted on speed.
Oh, well, of course, but
Yeah.
you had that opportunity to kind of move back and forth. Okay, I'm going too fast.
Yeah.
I'm getting more C's than
Yeah.
A's, or now I'm getting D's.
Yeah.
Right? You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, you got to back it up a little bit. So
Yeah.
you had that opportunity to kind of throttle forward and backward, right?
You do. I think the main thing is to throttle forward. I think that's the deal.
You're shooting with the wrong guys.
Yeah, right. Probably you can blame the Lewis brothers for that, and Jason.
Right.
No, but I think IDPA is it's weighted more heavily toward accuracy. So going back and forth, yeah, there's some things about it that help. I
Sure.
mean, you're shooting a lot more rounds in USPSA,
Which
so you're getting more trigger time. You're controlling your gun
Right.
more often, and I think that's a really good thing. And like I said, you can push your speed a little bit,
Right.
But there's also fewer rules, right? And IDPA has a few more procedural rules.
Well, therefore, it's supposed to memory defensive shooting. So
Yeah.
You're supposed to shoot from cover.
Right.
USPSA is something totally different.
No, it's-
right. So it's whoever's out there, right?
Yeah.
You may get them or may not get them, right? So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like hey, it's totally up to you,
Yeah.
right? So
It's definitely more. Well, they're both games, but it's definitely more of a game, I think, at USPSA, right? It's
well
more,
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because when you go out there, but I mean, to me, it's one concept.
Yeah.
we have our foundation,
Yeah.
and it's just another way to vent those, when you go out there, you get to shoot this. It's just push trigger, aim, it's fundamentals and so forth, and you're just applying it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't get into the rhetoric of all the rules and
Yeah.
those. I don't really care. It's time where we are spending with the shooting community.
Oh, yeah.
We're just having a great time, right?
Oh, there's nothing. Listen, there's nothing bad about either one.
Yeah.
Like they're both really good, and
Well
they're
said.
both
Well said.
they're both valuable, and whether you look at it as a game or whether you look at it as training or whatever, I think you can make an argument for all those things.
Right.
Being under the pressure of the clock, whether you think that's obviously that's not the same pressure as somebody shooting back at you or whatever, fine. It's still more pressure than you going and standing on a range and just firing at targets, right?
Yeah.
So moving around, having to think
Right.
under pressure with your gun, there's nothing bad about that.
Yeah.
There's nothing detrimental to your training or whatever about it. And if you look at it as a game, it's fun as hell.
Yeah.
Like it's great. You hang around with people you like, you meet really cool people.
I mean, I had to deal with you all day.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I was giving you the needle all day with your PCC. What, you got a 30-inch barrel on that thing?
Oh, my God. I still have to get that 30 inches around a wall,
I know
right?
you do. I know, yeah. I'm
When-
not buying that argument.
When I was sitting there watching you, you just sat there and you were just able like, I'm like, and me, I had like,
You had a couple of left leans that were pretty tough. And was that stage 4 too? Was that also the stage 4?
So my left leans. I talked to Steve Miles about this.
Yeah,
he's
really
often,
good.
right? And he sat
Talk
there,
about shooting with a guy that's you want to watch.
He sat there and he was trying to perfect or master, just kind of moving
Shoulder,
off chest, right? So we try to keep it center line and we just move it to the other side to get more room.
Yeah.
And then he said, forget it. So he added a 90
Like a
or
45.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
45, right? So
Yeah.
all he had to do is this, right? For me, I was sort of like, wait, 45. What's the difference between this and that?
Yeah.
So it's not. I would have to say that that's one of the flaws for PCC and IDPA and USPSA when you're going weak side, because I'm not sure if the gun is actually set up to do a weak side thing.
It's not.
Right. So they usually just change shoulders, right? But are you kidding me? How long that takes for somebody to do that? And then,
to go like this?
yes, and then you get like ambidextrous. Your eyes are all like doing you're in a different eye, and you're like, what am I looking at, right?
Yeah.
So I just take it.
But run well like you do. It is the fastest platform.
That's the fastest way, from point A to point B. That's the fastest way of doing it. As far as defensively shooting, I would have to say that that's not the best way of doing it.
Right. Yeah.
Because it just exposes too much of me.
Of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that all it and then I'm back out, right? It's a bad habit, but the thing is that going weak side, I'd probably be a little bit more precaution, take caution to the wind there.
And that was a
Big lean.
big lean.
Yeah.
on
You
that
see
one.
how far I was leaning out?
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, wow, I didn't know I was that flexible at the waist. Right?
Yeah. Right.
But it was just, my body's under cover and the rest of me is like tilted
Yeah,
to the side to
yeah.
shoot. But that's how far I had to shoot because I have a mechanical offset too, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I don't want to like take out walls.
You don't want
and
to take
stuff.
out the wall. Yeah, exactly. I've never shot PCC. I would like to try it. I've never done it in competition.
It's just one of those things that I started when it first came out. There wasn't a lot of shooters. It was very difficult to master. And then I said, I'm just going to move on to the other, 7 divisions.
Yeah.
And then I got lost. And years later, and then I'm like, I should go back to do that.
Yeah.
And now come out, and now we don't have a lot of shooters again.
Yeah. You think are there not that many? I actually haven't paid attention.
The only ones that are left are the hardcore. They are really, really good. So if you come across someone in PCC, it's either a guy that's just trying it out, or it's somebody that actually can shoot, like Steve, right?
You know what? That's kind of like Revolver.
Oh, yeah.
It's similar,
Great, yeah.
right? Where
Good
it's
point.
like it's
Good point.
very top heavy,
Right.
right? The guys at the top are
Yeah.
legit,
Yeah.
you know. And then you have people that are trying it, right? That are
Would you
entry
say
level.
that those guys that actually show up or doesn't know they don't know any better? Or
The guys that are top level revolver shooters.
no. People that come to like the regionals, they come to the regionals. Like so we have the Western coming up.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I know that they have a handful of revolvers coming
Do
up,
they?
right? Yeah,
Okay.
they do. Don't-
Okay, cool.
You
I never shot it. I never shot the Western.
That's right, because
Yeah.
you had that traffic issue.
Yeah, I've got issues.
You know,
I've
you
got,
should-
I've got. It's not just traffic. It's it's mental.
I go out that direction, right? And you should just like I don't know. I have an empty seat next to me in my truck.
Yeah, but then
should
I gotta
just-
spend like 8 hours in the car with you.
Good
Okay,
point.
we'll be back next week.
Well
See you guys
said.
later.
Thank you. Please consider.
we can live stream it, right? We can
No.
set up the phone. We could have it.
So we were in Sheepdog, right?
Yeah.
And Bill, because he was our our chauffeur.
Yeah.
And he goes, "We should do this live." And I
Yeah.
went,
Yeah.
because we were laughing and
Yeah.
dying. I'm like, how'd you think that up and stuff? And I'm like, oh my God, that. So I set up a mount and,
Yeah.
and I doing some testing and it's okay with the camera that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm thinking I should go with one of those GoPro.
Yeah, that would be good. Put on the dash.
4K.
Everybody needs a microphone.
Everybody gets a microphone.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're all set
Just
right
chop it up.
Oh
a lot
my-
could go sideways.
Oh man! But for 6 hours of you and me talking to each other. Yeah. Okay. Good point. I didn't really think about that. So anyway, so Glock.
Yes.
Take us through the Glock. If for those that don't know a Glock,
Okay.
what do we got here?
Okay, so it's like I said, it's very standard. This is a Gen 3 Glock 17. I've done a few things to it. It didn't come cut for an optic, so I sent the slide off to cut it. Glocks are typically not the best texture, so I added some skateboard tape, and it's got an aftermarket trigger, which this trigger works totally different. This is a Timney trigger. It works different than
Timney, really?
Yeah, it works different than the Glock factory trigger.
Okay.
And so it really lightens the pull and also makes it a lot crisper. So like a typical Glock trigger is you get to the wall and then there's maybe a little more creep that goes along with it and then it breaks, right?
Yes.
This you kind of get to it quickly and then it just snaps.
Right.
Like it's there's not that extra little
Right.
travel, which I've seen people shoot the factory ones way better than me. It's not like you can't shoot them well. It's just that this felt really good to me, and so I like having it.
It's that trigger slop.
Yeah.
That I just really. Well, I think it reminds me of my HK because I have that lem trigger.
Oh, okay. The lem trigger. Yeah.
And you have that, that 12 inches of pull that you have to get, and then you get a shot off. And stuff like that. I think it's years of shooting that I just don't want to go back to.
Right. I totally I get
great
that.
for concealed carry. Let me tell you that, right? Because you have that, that huge pull. And
So like this is not drop safe, and like I said, and there's a safety dingus on the trigger, so in that sense it's okay. But I wouldn't carry with this trigger, just in general. I don't feel like it's ideal, right? Like I'd rather carry with the stock trigger.
Yeah.
Which I do with the 26. I carry around. It's all stock. There's nothing.
What do you think about multiple safeties, like handle safety?
I think that's a very like customer specific thing.
Isn't it a California thing?
Well, there are. Okay, so that's a whole other thing. California has the roster and everything,
Right.
and all the different guidelines and stuff like that. That makes no sense. So I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even bother with that.
Okay.
But all the manufacturers they build in safe. The Glock is a very safe gun.
Right.
It doesn't have an external like thumb safety or
Right.
grip safety. But there are 3 other safeties inside the gun, that keep it safe. And I'm not the best person to describe. Like Viking would be good at that. He's great with all this stuff. I think it's personal preference. If you I used to have a Springfield. I started carrying with a Springfield XD, and the reason was because it had the grip safety, and I felt better having a gun on me that had that grip safety on it. And I never had a problem, actuating it. I never had a problem when I
So the grip safety is the one back here.
back here. Yeah,
So
right.
if you didn't get a perfect grip, you weren't going to get it.
But I could grip that thing just about any way that I could still shoot
that says
it.
a lot, though.
And it would work. I
Right.
mean, like I said, unless I'm grabbing it with my feet, like it would work fine. So I didn't have a problem with that. I know some people.
Right.
The grip safety's funny. Half people say I hate those things. They never work.
Right.
Like all this kind of stuff. Other half people say I don't mind it at all. It's fine.
I mean, what happens if you get injured and you have to go sport hand?
That's true.
Now it's a different grip.
That's true.
Or
Yeah.
if you're left-handed and
Yeah.
you buy a right-handed gun, what happens then?
That's true. Yeah. No. I
So-
mean, there's all those things to consider.
Right. But when I first got my 2011, my STI, right, I sat there and I bang, 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 bang.
I would stop.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so dry fire was my best friend.
Yeah.
And because it's one of those things, I sat there and went, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
And it's because I just I didn't have a correct grip,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I
So-
think, and I'm not a gun historian or anything, but I think, they came to be because of the 1911, right? That was the,
Yes.
and the 1911 was designed for the military, right? And so they wanted to take they probably wanted the extra precautions of thumb safety and grip safety,
in battle.
well, yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, just in general, right?
Okay, all right.
To prevent you're teaching. You got to teach a lot of people to use a gun. Maybe they have experience with firearms. Maybe they don't.
All right.
There's a lot to be said for, having some layers in there to protect from people having accidents, right? Having NDs and stuff. And when after the 1911, they what was it, till 1985 when they went to the Beretta 92?
Yes.
Again, same concept. It's a double action pistol, right? So
Right.
you have a long, heavy trigger pull with an exposed hammer.
Yeah.
That can help you mitigate some risk. You know what I mean?
For defense, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're concealed carry or appendix.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah. So I think, those things catch on for those reasons. How valid they are, is maybe up for debate. Like I said, this doesn't have any of those things, and it's a very safe gun to handle and to carry. But maybe in our, in your mind, you think, I'd like that little added layer of whatever. And that's totally fine. If it gets you to carry it and shoot it and stuff,
Sure.
then that's fine.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with any of those things.
Well, we're talking about carry optics here, and we haven't even got into that.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's when we get together, it's a free for all.
Yeah.
I love him when he comes, but
Sorry, I go on and on.
so carry optics with having an optic on your gun it's not necessarily called carry optics. It's just called optics, right? You put an optics on your gun,
Yeah.
or what they call a red dot.
A red dot,
Right,
yeah.
more than usual a red dot. And there's two different types of red dots.
Okay.
Right. So they have the window type, the emitter, right? The open emitter, which you have here.
Yep, that's an open.
And then they have the closed. Right. This one's made by.
This is Swamp Fox.
Okay.
This is Swamp Fox Justice 2. It's kind of like an SRO knockoff from
Wide
TreasureCon.
window.
Big window. But I've been actually really happy with that. I've had it for like 2 years, and it's held up really well.
How's the battery life on that thing?
I'd never had an issue. I change them once a year.
Okay.
On my birthday.
Just because.
Just because.
Okay.
And I do it on my birthday just so I'm reminded to do it.
It's a shake awake type
Yeah.
of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
great concept.
Yeah, it's not like some of the Holosons and stuff. They have like the auto like bright adjustments, the auto dimmers and stuff
Yes.
like that, where it senses the light and then it adjusts. Otherwise, this is just you set the brightness and that's it.
So the Holosun actually has is it a 4 or 6 MOA ring around it? A dot?
Certain ones do.
Okay.
Certain Holosuns do, and some of them are you can change them.
Right.
Right. Like you can go with the ring and the dot, or
Yeah.
you can just have the dot,
Triangles.
or this. Yeah, I think I don't know who somebody makes the triangle. I don't know if is that Trigicon.
I would have
Yeah.
to say that's their thing.
Yeah.
They love to have those things. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have an SRO on.
I had
your,
an SRO,
2011.
but I had a dot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a small. Well, I would have to say no, the medium. Is it 2 or 4? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah.
It's a long time I've shot that thing. All I do is if I see the target illuminate,
You go.
yeah,
Yeah.
It goes hot.
Yeah, I think I can't imagine shooting irons now. Which is funny. Like I feel like once you go to this and you start to like realize how much faster you can be with it, it's hard to convince yourself to go back the other way.
It's well, it all depends on who you are,
Yeah.
especially the elite shooters, pros,
Yeah.
and stuff. Well, I mean, if you talk about like Viking, right?
Well, I mean, he does. He
He's
can
like
shoot
a
irons
freaking
as good as
nature
anybody
itself,
shoots
so-
a dot. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know how he does it, but I think it's because he has young eyes, right?
Yeah.
But
My eyes aren't that good, you know.
I could see.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it helps when your eyes are, when your vision starts to go a little
Do
bit.
you have
it
like
really helps.
astigmatism or anything like that?
Yeah, I think like I said last time, I'm good. I can see up. I can't see up close or far away,
Right.
but everything else is fine.
Okay.
So like this is good.
Right.
Shorter than that or farther than that.
Well,
we
you
got
only
issues.
need 24 inches, right? Because
That's all.
you don't have to worry
yeah,
about
but
anything else.
yeah, but then the target is there's 2 of them and they're really blurry.
right.
You know?
Well, when you get to this, now you have to use both, right?
I've always shot with both eyes
Oh,
open.
okay. So
I've always have.
Eyes wide open.
Yeah. The biggest thing is learning how to switch your focus from your front sight to the target and then superimposing the dot over the target.
Really?
So that was the biggest learning curve for me and I think for most people.
So my 2011 doesn't even have a front sight.
Oh, really? You took it off?
It's just
That's it. There
Yeah.
you go.
I've always and this is an interesting concept because we had that issue at the range with Ian.
Oh, yeah. His sight walked out of there.
So I looked down the slide as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just my dot, and that's that. But
Right,
if that
right.
dot goes out, right, I'm just looking down the rail
Yeah,
anyway. So
yeah.
but
You're
so
point shooting.
we had a teammate that was shooting, and the next thing he was laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's so funny?
Yeah.
Right? You missed like half of those things, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah,
I don't have a sight.
I don't got I go,
And he didn't have a red dot. This was just iron sights. He's just shooting iron sights.
and then he canted.
yeah, I saw that.
And I went,
Did that help him?
it did.
Interesting.
I'm like, I go, that's exactly what fundamentals. Michael Hernandez at FT3 taught me. He just canted, right?
Yeah.
And look. Well, actually, he was looking down the back of the.
So you're looking down like
slide.
the corner of the slide, like you're looking down
That's
this part right
that's
here.
what Ian was looking at, and I'm like, how
That's
does-
pretty smart. I never
how
thought
does
about
he-
that.
How does somebody think of that kind of stuff
Yeah.
on the fly,
Smart guy.
right? And
And
I'm
you
like,
wouldn't know it if you talked to him. I'm just kidding you.
wow, we're just going after everybody today.
Nobody's safe.
So, what size dot are you using on this one? Do you
It's-
prefer smaller or larger?
Yeah, it's just a 2 MOA dot.
Okay.
It's just the 1 dot. For competition, I like just the dot.
Within 10 yards in competition, large is better, right?
Yeah.
If you have targets that are out to 20 or 30 yards,
Yeah.
right? Smaller is better.
Yeah.
But what's the farthest you ever shot that?
Well, in competition, not that far. Maybe 20 yards or
I
something
would have
like
to
that.
say that probably 99% of your targets are going to be within 10 yards.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it doesn't really-
Out on the range, I think maybe 50 yards at the most. I don't think I've ever taken it past that.
so
Not that it can't. I just haven't done it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would that be fun or?
In competition to have to shoot that? No, it'd be awful. No, I would hate that.
I think the longest ones was it the Western? It was the longest. They went to 30.
Could
I know
be.
Texas. They had
Does IDPA have a rule? Like have a limit for?
yes standards. If it's a standard, yeah, you can go up to 30.
Okay.
Scenario stages, no.
Okay.
So I think 20. I think they mark it
They
off.
cap it at that.
Well, I mean, you were running through a house, right? When's the last time you ran through a house that's 30 yards long?
So it's funny that you say that because all my dots are zeroed at like
the back of
14
a wall.
yards, which is like the one length of a hallway to the other in my house.
Wait a minute.
They're all the same. That's the longest shot I could have.
You zeroed on your hallway?
Yes, that's the longest shot I could have. So I just have like a little board laser, and that's how I start, right? And then I go to the range and clean it up from there. But that's where I zero all of them because that would be the longest shot I would have in my house. So that's all my pistols are zeroed for that distance.
Well, that's what I have. So from my bedroom door, right? You can't be there.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and start stealing whatever you want everywhere else. Just you can't be at the bottom of the stairs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm gonna have to light you up.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I mean that totally makes sense. Though,
yeah.
Right?
I mean,
you have your kill zone.
That's it. That's the farthest shot I would have. So,
So it's at 14 yards for you?
Yeah. So every pistol that I have.
What happens when you get to like 3 yards?
Well, I think
Just
at 3 yards
higher.
you just go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just point and shoot?
Yeah, probably. Gosh, I don't know. I hope that never happens.
Okay. Do you have you shot a closed emitter?
Yeah, I actually have a carry gun with a closed emitter on it.
Advantages to a closed emitter?
Cleanliness. Like if you're carrying a gun and you get the lint and the dust, just from every day.
From your belly button?
Yeah, from or wherever else you're rolling around in the sand or the mud or whatever you're doing with your life. I don't know.
Does it make that big of a difference?
Yeah,
Oh,
it definitely
wow,
does. Because the ones that I've had, and for a long time I carried with just an open emitter, and you go to pull it out and dry fire once in a while, and
you go, wait, whoa.
There's specks everywhere, and then the dot looks like this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
It kind of looks weird. So yeah, for a carry gun, I would say it's ideal. Like I would say it's
A closed emitter.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's ideal. For a competition gun, I mean, shooting your gun or carrying a gun around a match, like, yeah, they get a little bit dusty and stuff like that. But I never had an issue with,
So
the dot.
much that you can't.
Yeah, I never had an issue with it like changing shape or getting stuff inside the glass that I needed to wipe off or whatever. Right. I mean, to me, the challenge at our range at Prado for us is a lot. Most of the time the sun is right behind us.
Okay.
Right. So it's shining through here.
Right.
Right. So, like some of the dots I've brought out to shoot, and like I can't get it bright enough.
Really?
Yeah, because I can't see. It just because the angle, it's like it's super bright. This one's been great, and I have a couple other ones that are pretty good. But so you need something that's like bright when you're sun's at your back.
Florida matches.
Oh yeah.
Are notorious for having stuff right in your
I'm
face
sure.
in like first stages.
Yeah.
And especially you're on the left side, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're looking. Yeah, it would be on this side.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Sometimes it washes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know that I don't think open or closed emitter would make a big difference for that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that would probably not make a huge difference. But definitely brightness in competition. You want to have the option to go as bright as you can.
Right. And there are certain optics out there that'll go excessively bright.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you get there, and if you have like eye issues and so forth, I mean, does it start to like flare out on you? And
I do. I have the astigmatism.
Okay.
So it they all look like little stars to me.
So they're no longer dots.
Yeah, no, they're not
Oh, you got
exactly.
cool little shapes then.
Yeah, they're little shapes. They're fun little shapes. And then when you shoot them, they just go like this. And,
Does that mess up your accuracy? I mean, because 24th and
well, you're like a dog with a bone. You're really hammering that today. I told you I'm trying to go fast.
Okay, I get it. And you are, because fourth carry optic
Yeah.
division. Well, you really stuck it to them.
Yeah, I don't know. Accuracy is obviously really important in IDPA, so I got to get better at that. But I feel like it's easier for me to train the speed, and then I can learn accuracy a little bit better. But even so, like I was down that many, but I mean, I can't remember having. I don't know that I had any shots that were like down 3.
No,
it was either they were all ones.
they're all
Yeah.
center line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
you as well. Yes.
If you've got, or if you're like in USPSA and you got a bunch of deltas, or if you're in IDPA and you got a bunch of 3 downs.
Right.
Okay, then I feel like we got some issues, right? But almost all mine were 1 down. So you're building those, like I said to Dan Bolt all the time, like you're building the picket fence on your stage, just 1 down, 1 down, 1 down, 1 down.
Yeah, death by ones. Yeah,
death by ones. Yeah.
Right.
So those are that's kind of what I go through, but
what I was most impressed was stage 6. I took the barrels and stuck them really close. That was an issue for anybody, is what I seen. And I'm like,
a lot of people shot it from the start position, including myself, and I was worried about it when we did the walkthrough. I'm like, can I get through that? It's a pretty small opening, but I mean, with the dot, it was pretty simple, right? Like it wasn't too difficult to do. There was plenty of room to shoot through.
Well, even with iron sights, it's still a sight, right?
Yeah.
You just need a point of sight, and you're all set ready. It's nothing. You just have these things that are looking at you. Just got to stop looking at them.
I liked that stage. I thought that was really good.
I appreciate.
Was that yours?
Yeah.
Your design?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know it was your design. Okay, I like that stage though.
Okay.
No, that was a fun one. I like that.
But you definitely tore that up. I was like, oh man. So,
You thought you were gonna get us, yeah?
I was like, I thought it was going to cause problems for somebody, right?
I'm sure it did. I mean, it's not a huge opening,
No.
right? So, and running up to that, I just thought running up to it was just gonna be
3 steps
that
you
I didn't need to take.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it would be one thing if you got up to it and you go, oh, okay, now the array opens for you. But it really didn't. You got up to it and you still had to move along, right? Even if you were this close, you still had to move your body to each target.
More so.
Yeah, so it's like, well, might as well do it from back here. Save me the 3 steps.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just wanted people thinking they did.
And
it was like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you gotta get tougher.
What was the hardest thing to do to learn how to shoot a optic on your gun?
Yeah, just transitioning from front side focus to target focus.
Right.
That's the whole thing.
Trusting the dot.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part, like I said, you when you shoot irons, you're so used to, like when I used to shoot revolver, you're just so used to focusing on that front sight and then, not losing that, right?
Right.
With this, you have to focus on the target, and you have to kind of you'll see the dot move more than you see a front sight move.
Yes.
Because it's brighter and it's right in your face.
Right.
So, like, if you've got, ADD like me, you just, there's a shiny object. I want to look at it. Like, there it is, bouncing up and down in my window, right? Like, you got to try to let it do its thing and continue to focus on that target.
Right.
That's difficult. Well, it was for me. That was
Right.
difficult for me.
I know that happens with your second shot, right?
Yeah.
As it starts to do this stuff.
Yep.
Type of thing.
Yep.
What are you doing to mitigate that?
I'm just going fast. That could probably
long day.
I think that could probably be maybe solved with grip issues.
Okay.
Maybe like maybe there's a maybe if I'm missing on that second shot, there is something in my grip that's not allowing the dot to return to 0.
Oh yeah. Austin Pruitt, huge
Yeah.
grip guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge thing. That's the first thing. You can sit there and just talk about grip all
Yeah.
day long with him.
And I'm sure that's the truth. Like grip is, I mean, it's the point where it's where you make contact with the gun, right? It's how you control the gun. So if it's not out of control, but if it's not in control, then that's the deal, right?
It's
then
out of control.
It's out of control, and so you have to figure out how to do that, right?
How much dry firing are you actually doing this stuff?
I try to dry fire every day.
Okay.
Not for that long, maybe 15, 20 minutes
Just
every day.
Muscle memory.
Yeah,
it's
drawing,
done,
and then I try to also work on transitions, moving my eyes first, and then the gun, and then I try to do some reloads at the same time, for all that kind of stuff. I feel like with dry fire, it's like learning an instrument or speaking a language. It's better to do a little bit every day than it is to do it like 2 hours once a week. You know what I mean? I feel like the consistency of every day is ideal.
So what's the bare minimum of training for somebody just to shoot a gun proficiently?
Not in competition, just to shoot proficiently?
Just proficiently.
That's a good question. I think there has to be some level of dry fire, some amount of dry fire every day. Well, maybe not every day if you're just trying to
Proficient
learn to be
is
proficient.
just operation, making sure that you're able to do what you can do.
So I would say like occasional dry fire, and then if you're new at it, you definitely need to shoot live rounds to understand what the gun does when the little explosion happens in there, and something comes out of the end of it. Like you do have to do that, maybe once a month or something like that, and couple that with a dry fire session every week or 2 dry fire sessions every week.
So if you're going to carry your gun for carry permit,
then you should be doing it every day.
The bare minimum?
I think so.
Really?
I think the minimum. I think you should be doing it if you're taking on the responsibility of carrying a gun,
right?
Which a lot of us do. I think I think you better take that seriously.
Yeah.
I think you better practice, and I don't think there's really any other way to put it. Like you better take it seriously. Do it every day.
Does it? So it doesn't have to be more majority on the range. Right?
No.
It's just,
I think you can get a lot of that done in dry fire. I think you can get most things done in dry fire. I think recoil management is the only thing you really can't.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about the grip and that second shot, like a follow-up shot, that kind of thing. Okay, that's something you need to go to the range for.
Okay.
Which is tough because a lot of like indoor ranges, most people have better access to indoor ranges than they do outdoor ranges.
Yeah.
And a lot of the indoor ranges don't let you shoot doubles, right? So that's kind of tough. I would say if that's the case, and you're trying to learn how to shoot a dot, I would say shoot a few where you're tracking the dot and seeing where it's going after it returns, after the shot, right?
Yeah.
You return to 0. Okay, sometimes like I have some guns that I grip that it just goes up and down like this.
Yeah.
And I have some guns that it goes
Whoa.
like this or this
Whoa.
or
Whoa.
So learning that, it's not as good as shooting doubles and seeing exactly where you're hitting, but at least you can kind of get an idea of where you're, where it's tracking and where it's coming back down.
Wow. Bare minimum for competition? How much practice you need for that?
There's no bare minimum like that.
It's just a rabbit
it's
hole.
like we were talking golf earlier. It's like the Hogan saying, just dig it out of the dirt. Like, do it as much as you can.
Right.
Do it as much as you can, all the time. And, a safe way.
Right.
Please. But yeah, I would say like, depending on how you want to compete, right? If you just want to, if your goal is just like, hey, I'm going to do this well enough so that I can enjoy it and have fun and, and be with my friends and not embarrass myself. Okay. Yeah. That's
right.
That's one thing. Most people that I think most people that we shoot with, you know, like the competitive side comes out and you're like, oh,
Well, I
I
mean,
want to
they're-
climb up in the.
Yeah, at master level, now we're kind of reaching out to other
Yeah.
sports, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of them shoot USPSA.
Yep.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that part.
How often do you do it?
What, shooting USPSA?
No, how often do you practice? Like, how often do you dry fire? How often do you do all that?
I actually volunteer more work than I do practice.
Do you?
So then when I get out there, right, I have to, kind of pull my head out of my butt and say, you actually have to compete now, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I have to try to switch, right?
Because a lot of times you've got, you're doing the mentor thing, right? Where you've got people and you're teaching them, which is great. I mean, I remember when I first started, they paired me with you to do that. And I mean, that was a huge deal for me, learning all that. I would definitely suggest that to people.
Yeah.
If they come out and shoot a match, to sign up for that program, because it's so valuable. I mean, the stuff that you
Appreciate
get.
that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, and not only have I gone through it, but then I also watch you do it with other shooters. And I mean, it's
You just
helpful.
don't want somebody with a firearm lost.
Hell no.
You want them focused and going in a direction
For
every
sure.
time, right?
Oh yeah.
And so I also see it as a advantage for the squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have somebody, he's first timer, but like we had two of them.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot like first timers.
No.
They were in there. They
Yeah.
did what they needed to do. They were taping. I had to bring them in there early to get through the stage briefing,
Right.
and to give them
Right.
extra time to do
Yeah.
kind of digest what we're
And I think
serving
we're
them.
like, if I could like toot our horn a little bit, like I think we're pretty good about new shooters. I think we're good about
squad 6.
Well, squad 6 for sure, but I just think in general, like the sport is pretty good about it.
I think everybody's very helpful,
yes,
right?
yeah.
Well, everybody but you. But
I'm helpful and nice at first, and then I let you have it, just to get in, and then that's it. No, but I think squad 6, like I think when we have new shooters, like maybe if their name comes up first, we'll let them watch a couple of people go through so they get an idea.
Yeah.
Little things like that. I think we try to encourage people to come back and continue to do it.
I don't. I sit there and Lewis was sitting there and I go, "Hey, buddy," I go, "How come you're not shooting 7?"
Yeah.
Right, Aaron, and he goes, "I had 2 new shooters."
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring them in,
Yeah.
so I chose 6 to go. And I'm like, huh.
That's a nice compliment.
It was.
Yeah.
I was floored. Well, on top of that, I was sitting there like, oh, we get to shoot with Aaron.
I know. That
right?
was the best part. Like I said, he went in front of me. I got to watch good things every time.
So Aaron's like, carry optics master in itself. But the thing is that he's shooting a subcompact.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he's shooting a 365.
Yeah. With a macro.
Yeah.
Macro with the... so I shoot USPSA with that thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm having like 30-second stages, and I'm sitting there like, man,
that's a lot.
I might as well just shoot Revolver.
I know, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I am going as fast as I can,
Yeah.
right? Trying to get my A's and stuff like that. And
So don't you think, I mean, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but like, don't you kind of think IDPA might have dropped the ball a little bit with the last rule changes where, the 365 is like the most popular gun in the country, right? And it's a very popular carry gun. Like everybody, and this is a sport based on concealed carry.
Yeah.
It's not fair to shoot that against, a 2011 with a dot, right? Like, why didn't they had a chance to make a new category or a new division? Like, why not make a division for the Hellcats, the 365s, the Shield X, the 43X, all that?
right. I would have. I don't know. I don't know what's going through somebody's head, but
Yeah.
I mean, I can only make my own opinions on things, and this is one of those things that the people that are making the rules for IDPA probably are not shooting optics,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Especially not subcompacts, right?
Yeah.
So they don't know.
Yeah.
Right? For me and Viking, we can tell you exactly where it stands with because we're shooting 8 divisions all at one time.
Right.
And we know what works. We know what doesn't work. I shoot PCC, which is of, taboo in itself.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, well, especially like California people are like, where are you going to conceal that?
Yeah.
If you were, in a free state, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people, put them in backpacks and, carry them in cars.
Absolutely.
And so come on now.
Yeah.
But the thing is that for me,
Well, the Ruger I have is a takedown, so I can break the barrel and put it in. I can fit that in a backpack.
California's a whole different thing, and some of the laws, they just it doesn't make sense to somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But for somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know that's true.
So, getting back to your point and so forth, did they drop the ball? I would have to say that they did a huge disservice to the population that's now. I mean, I think it's growing out of control.
It is. I mean, they could have. Whatever they could have, should have, would have, but they could have turned bug into that, right? Like adapted bug for. Just brought it up to present day, right?
Well, I mean, they changed the round
They changed
count.
it to 8. Yeah, 5 to 8.
I don't know if that was actually a good thing.
Yeah.
For me, all these years shooting bug, 6 was perfect, right?
Yeah.
You just get 3 arrays and you can move on to it. Now you got 8. Now you have to go 4. Now you're in a different array, right?
Yeah.
Now you're this can be difficult too, right?
Yeah.
But and in California rules, PCC 15 to 1. And then I go to regional
and there's no
matches,
limits,
and they have 30 rounders,
Yeah.
and now I'm at a disservice, right? And I'm like, oh, great. So, but I mean, that's I don't need to harp on my own.
That's why we're here. We're here to complain and
Right. But as far as
Not
getting
why
back
we're
to
here,
the
but-
IDPA, they've seen this multiple times, right? This started with revolvers, right, and semi-autos, and that was their first thing. Well, why don't you just let semi-autos in?
Yeah.
All right, so we get in semi-autos. Now they turn into 2011s.
Yeah.
And then.
So you're just saying they're a little slow to adapt.
Well, I wouldn't say slow to adapt. They just. I think they're just taking path of least resistance, right? Because if they start making changes for everything, right, it turns into USPSA.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could be right. I think that if you base the sport on concealed carry, right? Which is in the mission statement, right? Like that's got to be. Then that ought to be you ought to be focused on what are people carrying, what are they, what's selling, like what's popular.
Yep.
I think if I remember correctly, I think I heard this where when it first started, the box for SSP was built around the Beretta 92 because that was the most popular gun at the time, right? Like
it's a beast.
Mid 80s or late 80s, whatever it was, like. That was the military handgun. I know like Ernest Langdon had a lot to do with IDPA. He's the 92 guy, right? Like Mr. 92, right? So you're taking that gun and you're building the concept around it, right? So this should be the same. We should be like, look,
you would think so.
The 365 is the most popular gun. People are putting dots on them. They're carrying them. Let's build the box around that.
We actually had a guy, so Joe bought him,
yeah,
who is a specialist with subcompacts, right? And then he put an optic on it, right? And he was competing in the carry optics division with it. And but he is a master shooter, if not distinguished master shooter. And this guy was successful with it. He is probably the 1% that was able to do that. Because Viking and I started doing that. I immediately said no.
No, I don't want to do it. Yeah.
I sat there and went, "This is the why do I need to abuse myself like this, right?" But I see your point.
Yeah.
Most of the carry optics, the comfortable carry optics, would be a subcompact.
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
And then for you to actually put an optic on it, now you take away I'm shooting a bug, and God, I hope I hit my target.
Right.
But you put a optic on it,
and you got a better chance.
and now you're a little bit more. Well, you're a lot more confident, right?
Yeah.
And now it turns into a self-defensive tool, right? And yes, I totally agree with you. What the hell happened here?
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not. We had a lot of people out there, the very, very accomplished shooters, making their suggestions, mapping it out on paper, and then sending it to them in a report.
I didn't know that was
a narrative
the case,
form, and I don't even know how that was dismissed like that.
Yeah.
I'm a little, disappointed in what happened, but we still have up until June.
Oh, okay.
So there are.
So there can still be changes made.
No, I've heard that there are
right.
changes, but I just don't know what they are.
So write to your local match director.
That helps,
Yeah.
but it still has to deal with HQ.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Look, you're not going to make everybody happy, right?
Well,
I mean, it's impossible.
That is the very first sentence that I hear.
Yeah.
We can't make everybody happy.
No.
And I go, I'm just telling you the majority of the people.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make a majority of the people happy?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But I think it was a huge sign where nationals, right? A majority of them were all carry optics, right? And if
anytime
if they don't see that,
yeah, I mean, anytime you go to any match, you look at the CO, and it's a long list, right?
Yep.
And it happened in USPSA too, right? When they started allowing
their
production guns, they just put a dot on them, and
right.
then everybody shot it. Like,
so that's a great analogy. So or a great example. So now you have there. Where do you think the guy who shoots Revolver stands? That shoots USPSA?
Yeah.
You probably only have like maybe 1% of the elite guys that are shooting revolvers.
Yeah,
now
maybe
competing.
less.
Yeah, the guys that are like, oh my god.
Yeah,
right? But you won't see any beginners.
No, yeah,
right. So, and that's what I'm sure they're trying to prevent. Right.
Yeah.
And IDPA, you're in there. Anybody can come out and start.
Yeah.
Right, become accomplished, and then they can reach out to USPSA and stuff like that to get additional types of training and so forth. And I think that's
I think the divisions, there's divisions specifically for that in both sports, right?
Right.
You have production in USPSA, you have SSP and in IDPA, and I think you could probably throw CCP into that category too, for the most part. Like, if you own a gun, chances are you can fit in one of those categories and you can come out and shoot.
It wasn't always like that.
Yeah. True.
So when I had my STI, right, with
Yeah.
an optic on it,
Yeah.
that's an open gun.
That's
right?
an open, yeah.
And I
right.
sat there, I'm like, why is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Which they now have LO, so you can do that now.
Right. So
Yeah.
somebody finally said, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Right? All right, great. So now they have the subdivisions and so forth.
But so that's a great example right there. The limited optic division in USPSA is exactly the same concept as what we're talking about with the 365s.
Right.
The double stack 1911, 2011 is a staccato name,
Yeah.
but like the double stack 1911 is so popular. Like, so many competitive shooters have it. I mean,
I've seen that.
like, it's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And USPSA is like, that's a popular gun. Like, let's.
That's what they have.
They have magwells on
Right.
it. It's
Right.
single action. They they got optics.
It's on the roster.
Well, I don't think there are any on the California roster, but anyway.
Well, one.
Is there?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's the P365, the bug.
Oh, that's
Right.
on the roster.
Yeah.
There's no double stack 1911.
Oh, no.
As far as I know.
No.
Oh no, that's not true. The staccato is on
Yes.
there. So yeah, the staccato's on there. My bad.
Because they paid
They got to pay for it.
quite
Yeah.
a bit.
And good, yeah, and hope that it passes all the tests and everything. But anyway, I'm just saying, recognizing a trend in the sport or in the industry, and then adapting to that trend, I think is.
I think that would be the smart move to do it,
Yeah.
right? Just for a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't run the IDPA. I just
No, and I
love
and
the.
I don't want to. I don't. I don't want to run it.
I have a huge love affair with IDPA. I think IDPA was. I mean, I hold them dear to my heart. Right.
I love it.
When I started, and I owe them for where I am now. Whoever's running the rules department or something like that, that needs to be. I think they need to come out and actually shoot, right, and experience what we're experienced to stay current. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do. But I can't tell them how to do their job.
No, and it's not an easy job.
No, absolutely. Not. I'm sure they get inundated by nonsense and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Definitely.
Because I definitely get nonsense. And
From me?
So what's your next regional match?
I'm not scheduled to shoot the Western. I know you guys are going to do that.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a team deal.
We have...
Is there a reason why you're going to turn in your jersey again?
You were going to throw guilt at me like that.
I'm in front of all my subscribers.
Yeah. Jeez.
Why is that? Why aren't you going to the regional?
I don't have a great answer for you.
Okay.
I don't have a great answer for you.
I will drive you there.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll take you up on that. I might take you up on that.
Wait a minute. What did I just say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I get to pick the music or...
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I like your style of music.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we just announced the match at Prado, right?
Yes. Thank you for that.
It's called a segue into business.
We haven't. They established a tier 3.
Yes.
I am the assistant match director for a tier 3. We are going to try to slam that into one day.
June 28th, I think it's
June 28th.
Yep.
And we are still working out the fine tuning of the thing. It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah,
I always laughed at the assistant match directors and directors that I podcast with, and now that I'm living it, I see that this is crazy. Yeah. This is insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to keep everybody happy, right? So we have some huge challenges with the range and other
just to accommodate the match that size.
Well, not yes.
Okay.
I would have to. Well, first of all, if you're going to a certain tier, it has to be a certain amount of stages.
Gotcha.
Right. So 10 stages was our goal. If not 12.
Right.
But we don't have that many bays.
8 at the most, right?
Yes, I believe that's what they're doing, and they're adding a couple to each accessory, stages to those bays, and things are getting creative. I've never had to. I've never seen stuff like this or this part of a match before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's.
No, you're seeing how the sausage is made now, right?
And I'm not sure I like what's going in them, and we'll say with that.
Yeah,
but yes. Everybody will hear a lot more of the tier 3. It's the Prado regional. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that'll be successful for a lot of people. But it is extra points toward nationals, and that was one of the main reasons why we were doing it.
That's good. Because
there was a lot of California guys that weren't getting enough points in state. And so this is one of the ways of trying to get out there.
Yeah. Did they announce? I think they did announce nationals, right?
They did. Yep. Ohio.
Okay. And that's when?
That is in, I believe, September or August, September.
So you will be able to get points before that with this match.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Cool. We're definitely under the timeline there. So we'll see what happens.
Shaping up. Yeah.
We're still in the planning phases and a lot of stuff. The stages are still being fine tuned. There are a lot of people out there that says that matches are made by the stages, right? And
I can see that
for the match directors, not for everybody else. The shooters themselves, it has to be, how we treat the shooters, right?
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get sponsors. Usually it's a whole year in advance that we have, right? Yeah. But we're trying to, throw this in with under 6 months.
Wow, that's a tall order.
I would have to say so, especially because it's March right now. So it's tough.
Yeah, just the logistics of putting all that together.
I'm a little nervous. Yeah. I'm not the only one. So we're all sitting there like, really? Okay. But
but you know what? I'm sure it'll work out. I'm sure you guys will do great. I'm sure it'll be a good match.
We have a great bunch of people. People are stepping up, volunteering as a safety officer, scorekeeper, SO themselves, and that's still open. I'm just making a list of people.
Cool.
So I don't see your name on there anywhere, but that's okay.
I'm pretty good at running the tablet.
I know you are.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. I just do that so I don't have to tape. That's my.
You lazy. So iron sights or red dots? Red dots for a new shooter. Would you recommend?
For a new shooter,
brand new guy,
go right
first
to the
time.
dot. Go
Really?
right to it. Don't even mess with the
Wow.
iron sights.
Just like that.
Go right to it.
Because it takes too long to learn iron sights.
The longer you shoot iron sights, I think the harder it is to transition to the red dot.
Really?
I do.
Why is that?
I do because your point of focus is different. With the two.
Of course, it's less, right? So instead of aligning this, you
and I mean, instead of looking at the front sight, you're looking at the target,
yes.
and that's a big difference in your depth perception.
Yeah.
And to make that just your reaction thing to do takes time, right? But if you learn on that, to start with, I think it will accelerate your learning curve, the gun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taking it.
Would you disagree?
No, I would have to say that iron sights are probably the hardest thing that I ever had to learn. It took me more than years.
It's
took
hard.
me years to learn that system. Red dots, they didn't take me very long.
No.
Yeah. I would have to say 3 months, and I mastered.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because there were so many guys in my group.
Yeah.
All they had to be was top 5. Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
And we're all getting promoted. We're like, oh man, this is not good.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it especially if you're new, it's kind of intuitive almost, right? Like
it is.
Look at the target.
Yeah.
And then, put your gun over that. Like, I think.
Well, my biggest gripe was, you have to align the front sight with the rear sight, right? Somewhere in there, and then you have to place it onto the your target, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it's there, but it's always like
that's 3 places that you have to focus on, right? Rear sight, front sight, target that you have to line up.
And
whereas this, you just are focusing on target.
Your eye to the glass to the target.
Yeah. A lot of things. One of the things that a lot of good shooters do, not me, but but good shooters do, is you occlude the dot. So you put a piece of tape over the front.
Yep.
And that kind of helps you from trying to look through the window to looking at the target itself. And you'll still see the dot just on a with both eyes. You'll see the target with this eye and the dot with this eye. And, that can help a lot.
Did you ever do that?
I've tried it a few times. Like I've dry fired it. I've done it on the range a few times. I think it's good. I mean, I don't think there's any wrong with it.
I've never done occlusion training myself. I just sit there and I'm a big dot guy. So I just look wherever the dot is. I know it's going to put a hole there. Right. So that's why I can throw my head over stuff, and wherever that dot is, it doesn't matter if it's my left eye or my right eye. As long as you see the dot, that's where the hole is going to be.
Yeah.
So I never did occlusion because I'm always looking for my dot.
Right. So. I think it helps you. I think it helps you a little bit in getting your focus off of the dot and onto the target. Yeah.
With iron sights, it's actually the opposite. Right?
Yeah.
You want the sights. Right. And if the target runs past the sights, you go ahead and.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you kind of get the grouping that starts to come out. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming out and sharing your.
Man, it's always fun to hang out with you.
Your bag load of thoughts, because you have a lot of thoughts.
I got a lot. Yeah, too many. It's cluttered up there.
I mean, it's definitely a treat to shoot with you on the weekends.
Likewise.
And thank you very much for coming out and spending some time here.
Thank you.
We'll definitely, hopefully, you can go to the Western or something.
All right. Well, you give me a ride.
Okay. Jesus. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
John Perino.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range. Well, thank you very much, man.
Thanks, man. Always good.
Like, share, subscribe.